Hi, and welcome to Untethered with Jenless, the podcast that's here to help you break free, be you, and unleash your inner brilliance. I'm your host, Jen, and in this episode, we're going to talk about how to finally see your own value. Let's dive in. Hey there, friend. It's Jen. Welcome back to the podcast for another of our holiday minisodes, where we are diving into the lessons that I have learned in 2023 that I would love to impart upon you so that you don't have to learn them as hard of a way as I did. Just kidding. I mean, maybe not just kidding. That's kind of truth. The other day, I talked to you about my readiness, how readiness was my word. And one of the things that I felt like I was fully ready for, even though it came as a huge surprise and delight to me this year, was the opportunity to work hand in hand with one of my own mentors. This opportunity came to me completely unexpectedly in January, and it offered me some of the greatest lessons that I have experienced this year. And one of the biggest ones is how to see my own value. And that lesson came to me in the most painful ways. And the reason for that is because our society is obsessed with hierarchy. We're completely obsessed with hierarchy. We're obsessed with the star at the top of the Christmas tree being the boldest and the biggest and the brightest. And the rest of us peons are just like those crappy, weird ornaments hanging out somewhere along the tree, right? And most of us feel like we are the chewed up ornament that the dog got a hold of, or the kid's been slobbering all over and somebody just, haphazardly stuck it back on the tree. That's what we feel like. We don't see our own value. And much of the message of this podcast is that you are actually, guess what? You're the star that is at the top of the Christmas tree, because we all are. And yet we are not alone at the top of the tree. We are all the stars at the top of the Christmas tree. There's no hierarchy. So this is the lesson today that I would love to impart on you to move with yourself into 2024 and to take stock of: where am I putting others on a pedestal? Where am I seeing others as the sole star at the top of the tree? Because this is the root of so many challenges that we are facing. For myself, I realized in working side by side with this individual who I deeply admire and appreciate and has transformed my own life in so many ways, that I was physically and emotionally sometimes in pain because I was not seeing myself as an equal. I was seeing her as better than. And that had been happening for a long time in many ways. And so then when you're in a working relationship with someone, that can be a huge rub. And now maybe you are working in an office and you have this with your boss, or you have this with leadership. The way that we put people on a pedestal can really deeply impact our own value. So here's what I learned this year is we're all equal. We're all 100% equal. And the more that we can see that we are all equal, you are just as valuable and worthy and amazing and talented and gifted as that person who you deeply admire, who you look up to. When we can see that that value is equal, it changes absolutely everything. Now, here's really the sticky thing that I didn't realize was causing so much challenge for myself, was that in many ways, in many situations, because this is what we're taught, I was putting myself on a pedestal to others, to my own coaching clients, to friends and family, to my former colleagues. And in what ways? Take stock, because seriously, we do this and we don't realize we're doing it, and we're just replicating the patterns that we've been taught. In what ways am I elevating myself on a pedestal in order to help myself to feel valuable, in order to help myself feel superior in some way? Because when we do that, it then gets reflected back to us from other people too, in ways that hold us down because we're seeing them on a pedestal. So when we can notice the ways that we are actively doing it with ourselves, this is where it really starts to dismantle, and we can begin to truly feel our own intrinsic value, because you don't have to raise yourself up to the top of the Christmas tree in order to be valuable. You're simply valuable as you are. You're perfect. You're beautiful. You're magical in every single way. So notice the ways. Notice one way. Just take stock of your life. Notice yourself moving about the day. In what way is there some part of your egoic mind that wants to say that you are better than someone else in some way? And I know that this can be a little bit weird and this can be a little bit painful when we start to notice it, and have compassion for yourself. It's normal. We all do it. It's legitimately what our society does. We constantly elevate ourselves in order to feel somewhat better. And the more we can level the playing field for ourselves, the more we can do it for others. And the world that we can create will be so magical and beautiful when we can begin to take ourselves off of this pedestal. So beginning to see your own value actually starts with noticing the ways in which you are elevating yourself in order to feel more valuable. So simply notice one of those ways today, get curious with it, and ask yourself, do I even need to be doing this? Or can I simply see myself as equal to all of these other people? And can I see them as equal to me? It will transform your life. I promise you. Take that one to the bank in 2024 and see all the ways that it transpires for you. Thank you so much for listening to this holiday minisode. I would love to offer all of us a breath together to close this episode, helping us to move through this season. And whenever it is that you are listening to this episode, in a more relaxed and open and curious way. So taking a big, deep breath into the nose, expanding your belly, exhaling. Together, we'll take another deep inhale, filling your belly, expanding, feeling that luscious expansion of your heart space, and exhaling. Allowing yourself to relax and step into the rest of your day with curiosity and a sense of wonder. Thank you so much for listening to this episode. It means the world to me that you would. If you enjoyed something about this episode, if you want to share these few minutes with a friend to help inspire them or get them curious, you are welcome to share this episode. Take a little screenshot, share it on social media. If you tag me, Untethered Jen, I will always reshare your posts. You just keep shining your magical unicorn light out there for all to see. I'll see you next time. Bye.